Before anything happens, before any camera flashes or red carpets unfold, there is always that quiet moment of anticipation. The kind that sits heavy in the chest. The kind that makes fans stare at calendars, replay old clips, and imagine possibilities that feel both hopeful and terrifying at the same time. And right now, that anticipation has a name. The 2026 Spotlight Awards. A single event that may place Faye and Yoko in the same space again, after everything they have been through. The idea alone has sent ripples through the fandom. Not because of trophies or speeches, but because of the unspoken history standing between two women whose story never truly had closure. Fans are not asking for a reunion. They are not demanding reconciliation. What they are holding on to is something quieter and more fragile. A moment. A glance. A sign that the silence does not mean hatred. A sign that respect still exists beneath the pain. Hello fans, welcome to my YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and click on the post notification to get notified whenever I upload a new video. The 2026 Spotlight Awards are expected to be one of the most watched events of the year, not only because of the nominees, but because of the possibility that Faye and Yoko may attend the same ceremony for the first time since their highly publicized separation. The word may is doing a lot of work here. Nothing has been confirmed. Nothing has been promised. But sometimes, even the possibility is enough to stir old emotions back to the surface. Fans remember the last time they were seen in the same venue. How the space between them felt louder than any argument. How their eyes avoided each other. How the air felt tense, heavy, unfinished. That memory still lingers. And now, the thought of them sharing the same red carpet again feels like reopening a chapter that was never properly closed. Speculation has been unavoidable. Some believe Faye will attend confidently, radiant, and composed, having grown stronger through heartbreak and loss. Others believe Yoko's appearance will be more complicated, shaped by her continued ties to the industry and the weight of everything she has carried quietly. And then there is the question no one can stop thinking about. Will they acknowledge each other? Or will they walk past like strangers who once meant everything to each other? Fans are split between hope and self-protection. On one side are those who believe that time has softened the pain. That distance has allowed reflection. That maturity has replaced resentment. These fans imagine a respectful nod. A soft smile. Maybe even a quiet greeting behind the scenes where cameras cannot reach. Something small, but meaningful enough to show that the bond they once shared did not end in bitterness. On the other side are fans who brace themselves for the possibility of complete silence. No eye contact. No acknowledgement. Two women walking the same carpet as if their shared past never existed. For these fans, that image hurts more than any official statement ever could. Because silence has always been the sharpest weapon in this story. And then there is another layer of anticipation that fans cannot ignore. The possibility of Yoko attending with Grace. This alone has sparked intense debate across social media. Some fans feel that Yoko appearing with Grace would send a message of finality. A sign that she has moved on professionally, perhaps even emotionally. Others believe that if Grace does attend, it would be purely professional, a reflection of current projects rather than personal choice. Still, the emotional impact on fans remains the same. For those who support Faye, the thought of Yoko standing beside someone else at such a public event feels heavy. Especially considering the timing. Especially considering everything Faye has endured over the past year. The heartbreak. The silence. The grief of losing a grandparent while navigating emotional isolation. Fans still remember how alone she looked during that period. How her smile barely held together. How she spoke about not expecting heartbreak at 30. Those memories resurface now, coloring every expectation surrounding the awards. At the same time, there is empathy for Yoko. Fans remember her press conference. Her trembling voice. Her admission of fear, pressure, and responsibility. Her plea for fans to stop fighting. Her acknowledgement that she still cared, even while choosing to move forward separately. For many, the idea of her attending the awards is not about choosing sides, but about survival within an industry that rarely offers gentle exits. The Spotlight Awards, in this sense, represent more than recognition. They represent a crossroads. A public space where private emotions may briefly collide with professional obligations. A stage where body language will be analyzed more closely than speeches. Where silence may speak louder than words. Where every step, every glance, every seating arrangement will be scrutinized. Fans are already imagining scenarios. Faye arriving first, walking the carpet with quiet confidence, her presence commanding respect without needing to prove anything. Yoko arriving later, composed yet reserved, maintaining professionalism while carrying the weight of public attention. Or perhaps the opposite. Perhaps Yoko arrives first, setting the tone, while Faye follows, unbothered, focused solely on her own journey. Each imagined scenario reveals more about fan emotions than about the actresses themselves. There is also the possibility that one of them may choose not to attend at all. And strangely, that option feels just as heavy. Absence would speak volumes. It would raise questions about readiness, boundaries, and healing. It would protect one heart while disappointing millions who hoped for even a fleeting moment of acknowledgement. Sometimes, choosing not to show up is its own form of self-preservation. What fans truly want, beneath all the speculation, is reassurance. Not of romance. Not of reunion. But of peace. Peace that comes from knowing that two women who once meant everything to each other are no longer carrying resentment. Peace that comes from seeing them exist in the same space without visible discomfort. Peace that allows fans to finally let go of the tension they have been holding for so long. There is also a quiet hope that the awards night may offer a chance for unplanned humanity. A moment that cannot be scripted. A hallway crossing. A shared laugh with mutual friends. A brief exchange of words that never reaches the microphones. These are the moments fans cling to, not because they demand access, but because they believe in the power of small gestures to heal big wounds. At the same time, many fans are preparing themselves emotionally. They remind each other that no one owes the public presence
closure.
of grace,
That
that
healing
happens,
does not happen
adds
on
another
red
emotional
carpets.
dimension.
That some chapters
Fans are trying
end
to approach
quietly,
it with
without
fairness,
grand gestures,
reminding themselves
and
that
that it is
grace is not
possible to
responsible
honor a
for the
past
history that
connection
came while
before
choosing
her,
not to reopen
that she
it.
deserves
Respect as an individual actress navigating her own career. Still, emotions are not always logical. And the human heart does not easily separate timing from meaning. As the date of the Spotlight Awards approaches, fan conversations grow softer, more reflective. The anger that once dominated timelines has mellowed into contemplation. People are no longer shouting. They are watching. Waiting. Wondering. Some admit they are scared. Scared that seeing them together, even briefly, will reopen wounds they thought had healed. Others admit they need this moment to finally move on themselves. Because the truth is, this story has never belonged solely to Faye or Yoko. It has lived in the hearts of fans who projected their own hopes, vulnerabilities, and beliefs onto their connection. Watching it fracture forced many to confront uncomfortable realities about love, timing, and control within the entertainment industry. The Spotlight Awards feel like a mirror reflecting all of that back at the audience. No matter what happens that night, one thing is certain. The world will be watching, not with judgment, but with quiet reverence. Hoping for dignity. Hoping for kindness. Hoping that two women who once shared something beautiful can exist in the same space without pain defining the moment. Whether they speak or remain silent. Whether they smile or look away. Whether Yoko arrives with grace or alone. Whether Faye stands surrounded by new strength or quiet reflection. Each outcome carries its own meaning, its own lesson. And perhaps that is the real story. Not whether they reunite. Not whether they communicate. But whether time has done what it always promises to do. Soften the sharpest edges. Teach acceptance. And allow people to move forward without erasing where they came from. As fans wait for the 2026 Spotlight Awards, expectations remain suspended between hope and realism. And maybe, just maybe, that balance is exactly where healing begins. Thank you for tuning in to K-Drama Bloom.